For the first time in program history, we have playoff lacrosse here in Rockville Center. It's the East Coast Conference semifinal as the second-seeded and 15th-ranked team in the country, the Molloy Lions, take on the third-seeded Bobcats of Frostburg State for the right to play in the East Coast Conference Championship. And we welcome you inside the broadcast booth. My name is Robert Goldberg, and it is jam-packed here at John A. Darcy Field on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon as the Lions look to continue its historic season here today. And they are up against a tough team in the Bobcats of Frostburg University who are looking to go to the ECC title game for the 5th time in as many seasons. Face-off underway here at the center. It's battled for, and it will be picked up here by the Lions. That's Thomas Kofod, and Molloy gets the first possession of the afternoon. A lot of history between these two teams, and if you like defense, today is the day for you. Both of these teams ranked in the top 10 in scoring defense on the campaign. Not a lot gets past these back lines of defense, and not to mention the two goalkeepers in today's game. Logan Covey for the Bobcats, one of the best in the nation. Second in Division II in save percentage and sixth in goals against average. The only man better than him is the man standing in net for Molloy, is Christian Michaels, leads Division II with a .654 save percentage and fourth in goals against. First possession here for the Bobcats as they turned over the Lions with the errant pass. Hanging out with it on the right side, that's Luke Roach. They get it to the top here, near side. This is Henry Sykes. Sykes goes to his left, he throws it behind the net. And the Bobcats will reset. They get it to the top. Near side, this is Sykes yet again. Sykes getting to his left. He's going to dump it back outside to Serena. Serena unable to corral. It's going to head over to midfield. Battle for the ball. And it's picked up here by Molloy, but due to a push, the Bobcats will retain possession and 60 seconds on the shot clock. Here with it at the top. That's Luke Roach, team's leading goal scorer with 29. Dodging to his left is Allison. Tries to get it across. And it's picked up behind the net. To his right, this is Aspenis. They get into the slot, and the shot is sent wide. Left-handed shot there coming from Luke Roach, who sends it just wide. 30th shoot for the Bobcats here on their offensive possession. Get it back to the top. They swing it to the far sideline. Roach to Sykes. A bouncing shot goes into the back of the net. That's Henry Sykes, the sophomore from Edgewater, Maryland, puts the Bobcats on the board here in the first quarter. That's Sykes' 8th goal of the campaign, his 18th point. And the bouncer from dead on beats Michaels to the top left corner, and ahead is the Bobcats. It's 1-0.
Assisted by number 24, Graham Allison.
Give the assist there to Graham Allison, as they just played catch there at the top of the offense. And again, that bouncer able to get through. Face-off one here by Frostburg State, one of the best in the country. That was Greg Dort Jr. who won the face-off. The shot went wide. It's backed up by the Bobcats. They'll get another possession. These two teams met earlier this season. Molloy coming away with a 7-6 victory. Their last 3 matchups between these two teams, combining 3 goals difference between the two teams. Each of the last 3 matchups has been decided by 1 goal. Bobcats working around here to the near side. Looking for space and shooting and scoring is Graham Allison. So he assists on the first goal. He gets his first goal of the afternoon right there to put the Bobcats up 2-0. And it's been all Bobcats here in the opening 2 minutes and change. Back to the face-off dot. Inside there's Dort, and now Brandon Pazienza in there for Malloy. Coming in with a big hit, and knocking Pazienza to the ground was Milano, but nonetheless, Malloy wins the face-off with Kofod picking up the ground ball, and they'll get an offensive possession. The ball on the stick, this is Matt Calvo. He swings over to the far side for Jake Taylor. And we'll see what the Bobcats do as far as defensive strategy. Again, a very good defense on this side of the field. Malloy is yet to set up an offensive set, so to speak. Again, the face-off one to begin the game was thrown away. Now they get to get their feet wet here on offense with 50 to shoot. Here's Tommy Corcoran going to his right. Gets checked from behind. That's Milano. They work the ball over to the far side. Get it down, goal line extended. That's Hickam. Ball gets stripped out of his stick, and it's going to be on the turf. And the battle for it gets picked up by the Bobcats, and they'll look to clear, and they do so successfully. And with 11:07 here in the first quarter, the Bobcats will take their first time out of the period. We'll be right back on the ECC Sports Network. Welcome back to John A. Darcy Field here on the ECC Sports Network. East Coast Conference semifinal action between the second-seeded Lions of Malloy and the third-seeded Bobcats of Frostburg State. Frostburg State off to a hot start in the first 3 minutes and change, up 2-0. Following a goal from Henry Sykes that was fed to him from Graham Allison, and Allison found the back of the net not too much time later to give the Bobcats a 2-0 lead. As Frostburg State on the road here in Rockville Center. Malloy hosting a postseason game for the first time in program history. Coming in as the 15th ranked team in the nation. And currently 5th in the North region in the latest regional polls that came out. Outside of the timeout, Frostburg retains possession. They feed it over to the near side. This is JT Calhoun. They feed it to the top for Serena. Far sideline, that's Tyron Long. Feed it to the top, and errant pass goes to midfield, and the battle for it will stay inside midfield, and picking it up is Serena. Here's Long with a running shot, and that goes wide. It'll be backed up by the Bobcats. So the message here early from the Bobcats is definitely the physicality. They're not afraid to throw their weight around. All the experience that they have in postseason play. Here's a shot coming from the top, and bouncing it in is JT Calhoun. The sophomore midfielder from Hempstead, Maryland. They go to the bounce shot to go to the top left corner. They beat Michaels over that shoulder for the second time in 3 goals. And it's 3 consecutive goals here for the Bobcats. They're on top 3-0. And 4:40 into this contest, the Bobcats host a 3-0 lead and a big important face-off here at the X between the two squads as Brandon Pazienza and Dort Jr. were tied up. They'll call a false start. And Malloy will get a possession, desperately trying to get a goal in the back of the net. Come the Lions offense, facing 2 very good long stick midfielders here on this Frostburg team. Of course, is led by Seamus Kearney. 11th in Division II in caused turnovers per game, has picked up 54 ground balls, causing 35 turnovers. Suffocating defense here from the Bobcats is Diliberto behind the net. Gets it back to the near side to Taylor. They swing it over to the top to Tommy Corcoran here on the top. Again, high pressure defense here from the Bobcats. They do not give you a lot of room to really breathe. The Lions are going to have to find different ways to get shooters open. Here's Corcoran going to his left, goes to his strong side, and the shot is saved by Logan Covey. First shot of the afternoon for the Lions off the stick of Corcoran, finds the net of Covey. And one of the best in the nation is Logan Covey as the ball's on the ground following the errant pass. It's picked up here by the Bobcats on the far side. They'll get it to midfield, and a big hit at midfield by Taylor. And they'll call that a violation. They didn't get the clear over in time. It'll be picked up by Malloy. They'll get another possession. And a quick shot here coming from the Lions, and once again, Covey finds it all the way. Here's Ryder Walter. He gets it into midfield, and Frostburg's able to clear it. With it now in his stick is Sean Milano. Here's Tyron Long, the midfielder from Baltimore, Maryland, with the ball. Dodges to his left. He's manned up there by Jack Dankenbrink. They force it to throw behind the net. Even though they go behind the net here for possession for Frostburg. This is JT Calhoun. Calhoun shoots, and it's saved by Michaels. Tough angle there for Calhoun, but he got it on net. Michaels saw it all the way. Malloy gets it clear across midfield. Now they'll try to set up. Here's Dankenbrink with the ball in his stick. He goes to his left. Looking for a little bit of help and get a running start here. Jack Herzlinger on the field. Herzlinger gets to his right. He's immediately cut off by the long stick defender here, number 17, Brody Monroe. Coming onto the field now with the ball in his stick is Mikey McLean. Sophomore midfielder from East Northport. Right here on Long Island. McLean goes to his right. They swing it back over to the top. This is Mike D'Amato. D'Amato to his right. Gets space. He shoots, and it's saved by Covey. Well, Covey's seen 3 shots so far. He saved all of them. Bobcats look for a clear here. They look for the long pass, and getting a stick on it there was Noah Taylor. And contact here right inside the midfield line was a body check, and down on the ground now is Jack Herzlinger. Herzlinger signals he's okay, and he'll get back on offense. But a big body check here on the near side. Malloy gets possession back. With the new whistle, here's McLean. McLean able to get by his defender, cutting through the teeth of the defense. Near side for Taylor. Ball now behind the net. As that shot was... That shot was sent wide, was backed up by Malloy on the near side. That's Noah Taylor. You can hear the last name Taylor a lot here in today's game because Malloy's got 4 brothers, all playing together on the same team. You got 2 of them on offense. You got 17 Noah Taylor and 48 Jake Taylor, who battles for the ball here. He has it in his stick, and he slips. And suffocating defense by the Bobcats. They're going to get the ball back following the body check. That was Landon Bruce, the senior from Skysville, Maryland, all over Jake Taylor. Frostburg gets another possession here on offense. holding a 3-0 lead with under 6 minutes to play here in the first quarter of play in the ECC semifinal. The offense will be set up. Here's Allison at the top. Allison dodges to his left. He's going to get to his left side. Lions will force him out. He'll look to reset, and they get it back to the top of the offense. That's Roach, who hands it off to the far right side. This is Long. Long gets to his left, the strong side. Suffocating defense here from the Lions. And keeping him in front, there's Brian Green. The two number twos matched up on each other. This is Green and Long, one-on-one. Long goes to his right, feeds it back to the top. This is Phillips, who gets to the near side to Roach. Roach to his left, looks to throw it back, unsuccessful. They go behind the net. Bobcat swing it to the top. That's Serena, and it's picked off at the top of the defense by Aiden Dinnigan. Here come the Lions. Here's the first shot of the game that goes into the back of the net from Luke Hickam. Oh, Aiden Dinnigan with a huge turnover at the top of the defense. He leads the charge. He finds Hickam on the left wing. And the senior from Oceanside gets the Lions on the board. It's 3-1. There's a pair of first-teamers right there for the Lions. All-CC attackman Luke Hickam and co-rookie of the year Aiden Dinnigan connect for the game's first goal, and that's something that you need if you're Molloy. Offense has been a little bit stagnant, haven't been able to get many clean, hard looks on Covey, but Dinnigan picking off the pass and getting out in transition finds Hickam, and Hickam just rips it to the back left corner of the net. And a big face-off here looming here for both teams. Going to be picked up here in one. Well, not necessarily one. It's Pazienza who gets checked out of play. And it's going to be a Molloy win on the false start. Again, a high physical, high defensive battle you should expect here today. And the Bobcats have made no question about how physical they're going to be to impose their will on this Molloy team. The Lions down 3-1. They get their second straight possession. Here's Hickam working on the long stick. Hickam's able to create space, but the Lions will reset their offense. Here's Brian Green at the top of the offense here, the All-ECC first-team selection this year, collecting 51 points at this point of the campaign. Diliberto near side works on the short stick. Diliberto to his right. The fake shot goes wide. It's backed up well there by Molloy. Hickam's able to get to it. Diliberto went to fake high on Covey and go low. The shot went wide. 37 seconds to shoot for the Lions here in the first quarter. Here's Brian Green near side. The shot is in to the back of the net. It's Jake Taylor. Green gets by his man. He finds Jake Taylor in the same slot that they found Hickam a couple of minutes ago. And the Lions find the back of the net again. They're back in this game. It's 3-2. That gets the crowd back into it. And the Molloy fans all season have packed out this place. And now when you have the first playoff game here in Rockville Center in program history, you're definitely going to draw a huge crowd. And the Frostburg State fans well represented here as well, as they set up a tailgate in the parking lot before the game started. And they're to our broadcast location right. And another face-off win here for the Lions. Another false start from Dort Jr., the senior from Saratoga Springs, New York. Molloy gets the ball back. Down 3-2 with under 4 minutes to play here in the first quarter. This is Rocco Hogan, all ECC second team selection at short stick midfield. Here's Tommy Corcoran here at the top, waiting for options. He'll find Diliberto, who comes off the bench and runs on. Diliberto will wait and dodge to his left. Diliberto creates space, finds Corcoran, and a huge shot and save there by Covey. Hard rising shot to that top left corner where Molloy's had success thus far. And Covey saw that one all the way and makes a big save. Under 3 minutes to play here in the first quarter, it's the second-seeded Lions of Molloy and the third-seeded Bobcats of Frostburg State University. Bobcats able to get across midfield just in time. They'll have 50 to shoot. Working it around the net is the Bobcats. They get it towards the top, and they're going to reset, look for options. And coming back into play here is number 55, Sean Milano. Milano gets through the teeth of the defense, and they force it back out. Bobcats working to the near side to get it back to the top. This is Sykes. This is Serena. Serena with a forced shot. And Aiden Dinnigan all over him. Forces the errant shot. And with 9 seconds on the shot clock, that's how much time the Bobcats have. Here's Sykes. Sykes looking for a shot. He's got 2 to shoot. Sykes fires and will not be in time. The goal will be waved off. It's a shot clock violation there for the Lions. It looks like they found their stride here on defense. Coming across midfield is Brian Green, and he'll make the clear. Lots of physical play here in the first quarter with 1:30 to go here in the opening period. The Lions now will have 60 to shoot. A big shot there from Hickam is caught once again by Covey. Long pass going towards midfield. It goes through the stick of Green and cleared successfully by the Bobcats. Coming into the inside part of the crease there is Aspiness. After a collision right by the goalkeeper, Michaels. The senior netminder picks it up. And it'll be another Malloy possession. Now with 1 minute to play here in the first quarter. An errant pass goes down the left sideline, and the Bobcats will now have under a minute here in the first quarter with an offensive possession. Working it around the net here, the Bobcats. They go play catch behind. Get it back to the top. Here they come, right side, and the shot goes wide. .26 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Holding it behind the net was Wesley Phillips. He gets to the near side. Here's Allison to his left. Finds Phillips behind the cage. They get it to the top for Roach. Roach can't corral it. It's picked up by the Lions. This is Thomas Kofod. He has 10 seconds. Kofod to his left for Hickam. Hickam downstairs to Taylor. Taylor shoots, and it's saved by Covey. Oh, what a save that was from Logan Covey. And that's how the first quarter will end. Back and forth action here in Rockville Center. The Lions right on the doorstep. Covey denies it. And the Bobcats will take a 3-2 lead as we go to the second quarter right here on the ECC Sports Network. Second quarter of action waiting to get underway here in Rockville Center. East Coast Conference Championship semifinal between the second-seeded Lions of Molloy and the third-seeded Bobcats of Frostburg State. Robert Goldberg on hand. Thank you very much for joining us on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon, mid-70s here on Long Island, and a perfect day for men's lacrosse. Got a quick update on the other semifinal going on right now. The top-seeded Mavericks of Mercy University holding a 7-6 lead on the Roberts Wesleyan Redhawks. That's the 1-4 matchup in Dobbs Ferry. And here in Rockville Center, it's the 2-3. Here's the opening faceoff here in the second quarter. One backwards, and it's going to be picked up by the Lions here on the near side. This is Jack Dankenbrink as he gets it across midfield. Dodges the defender, gets it to the near side. Here's Hickam. Hickam will pull it out and reset. Looking for Jake Taylor behind the net. He finds him. And there's our first flag of the game. It's going to go down as a slash, but right now, just a delayed penalty here for Molloy. Coming off the bench, this is D'Amato. They play catch behind the net. Here's Hickam in the slot, shoots wide, and that'll put Molloy on the man up. So they're going to get Matt Williams on the slash call, and this will give Molloy a man-up opportunity. Molloy on the campaign, 28 goals and 83 opportunities on a man-up. Frostburg State, one of the best man-up defense. They've held opponents to 18% scoring on their man-up opportunities. Here's Hickam on the near side. Hickam plays catch with Diliberto. And the shot is saved by Covey. Here come the Lions again. Near side, Diliberto. Diliberto behind the net. For Noah Taylor, they play catch. Near side, here's Hickam. Back to Diliberto, the quarterback, and behind the net. Here's Hickam on the left side. Hickam fires and scores! Oh, Luke Hickam reared up and fired. And with no screen in front of Covey, incredibly hard to get it past him. But Hickam does it. It's his second goal of the game, and the contest is tied at 3. It's a man-up goal here for the Lions. And after Frostburg started this game up 3-0, the Lions have scored the last 3 goals of the contest and knotted up at 3. Back at the face-off X, battling for it is Dort Jr. and Pazienza. And Pazienza is able to pick it up. And he gets checked from behind, but they're going to give possession to the Bobcats.
That was crazy.
Yeah, just tees off on his wrist and it shoves him to the ground.
Bobcats now with their first possession here of the second quarter. This is Wesley Phillips here at the top. They play it back to Sykes, who goes to his right. Sykes comes up a double team on the near side. And it looks like Frostburg has called the timeout. 3-3 score with 12:51 to go here in the first half. We'll take a break on the ECC Sports Network.
Timeout.
Welcome back to John A. Darcy Field here at the Rockville Center Sports Complex ECC semifinal between the second-seeded Lions of Molloy and the third-seeded Bobcats of Frostburg University, who come out of a timeout with possession in a tie game at 3 apiece. Here's the first shot of the game there from Wesley Phillips that goes off the side of the cage. And the battle for the ball is picked back up by Phillips. And taken away here by Molloy. This is Kofod with the ball in his stick. Kofod looks for the long pass, looking for Rocco Hogan. Hogan finds it here at near side midfield. Hogan looks to dodge his defender, and he does so successfully. The Lions will now take their possession. Here's Nick Tayani wearing number 20. The junior from Marichis, New York. And Molloy with an offensive possession here in the second quarter will take a timeout.
Timeout called by Molloy.
First timeout taken by Molloy here in the first half, and give you a score update in the other ECC semifinal. The Roberts Wesleyan Redhawks have tied the game at 8 in Dobbs Ferry against the top-seeded Mercy Mavericks. With under 11 minutes to play in the fourth quarter, it's 8-8 up in Dobbs Ferry. Molloy entering the game 13-4 in the regular season, a program record for wins in a regular season campaign. A 5-1 record as they fell to Mercy in the regular season finale, 13-12, in a fantastic game in Dobbs Ferry. Frostburg State, 7-8 overall. They come into the contest 4-2 in East Coast Conference play with their pair of losses against Molloy and against Mercy. Those two games combining to lose just 3 goals as they lost to Mercy 9-7 on April 12th and fell to Molloy 7-6 at home. Two of the best defenses that you're going to see collectively in the country, as both teams in the top 10 in several categories, including caused turnovers per game. Lions ranking 6th in all Division II, Frostburg State ranking 8th. .12:09 to go here in the second quarter, coming outside of the timeout. Molloy will retain possession on the far sideline. It'll be Tommy Corcoran with the ball in his stick when play resumes, and here we go. Corcoran goes to his right, gets through the teeth of defense, shoots, and the ball goes wide.
Go Lions!
Corcoran getting right through the heart, and really one-on-one with Covey, just shoots it far of the side post. Here's Noah Taylor. He's manned up on the back by Landon Bruce, the long stick. Bruce incredibly tough to get around, and coming in with help is his counterpart, Ryder Walter Taylor. And Walter tied up, and another flag will be thrown. So a flag thrown would be a penalty on Frostburg State, and the Lions will have another opportunity with a man up. It'll be a holding call on Ryder Walter. Be a 30-second man-up opportunity here for Molloy. The Lions work it around to the near side. Here's Hickam. Hickam to the back. Goal line extended there is Diliberto. They work it back to the top. Hickam now replaces Green. Corcoran near side back to Taylor. Corcoran dishes it to the top. Here's Brian Green with a very heavy shot at the point. Corcoran switch places it to the right wing. Here's Jacob Faison, the freshman. Pass it down to Hickam. Here's Brian Green. A shot from Corcoran. And it looks like Covey got a piece of it as they call for the reset. Man-up opportunity is gone. Back to even strength here for the Lions. They've got a fresh 60. Here's Hickam. Looks for the screen from Faison. Hickam the running shot, and he scores! Luke Hickam sneaks it inside the near side post and beats Covey down to his right. It's his third goal of the afternoon, and the Lions, for the first time, have a lead. It's 4-3. And what a turn of events it's been here for the Lions, giving up the first 3 goals of the contest. And now responding with 4 straight of their own as they have their first lead here this afternoon. A big face-off win there by Brandon Pazienza, the junior. Pazienza gets it to Hickam. Ball bounced around, a lot of weight being thrown around on both sides. And the ball will stay here with Malloy. And very physical play between these two teams, and you really expect nothing less in the ECC semifinal, with 2 programs who have had a ton of history against each other. Since Frostburg State joined the ECC in 6 matchups, the Bobcats hold a 4-2 record against the Lions. The Lions winning 2 of their last 3 against Frostburg State, as that shot is fired back into the back of the net from Noah Taylor. He worked his way all the way from that backside corner, used his body to create space, and he beats Covey. And the Lions now, with a 2-goal lead, it's 5-3. You got Jake Taylor, who's found the back of the net now. Noah Taylor joins his younger brother. And he's on now on the score sheet. And a big part of this game all starts here at the face-off action. You have 2 very good face-off men here in Brandon Pazienza. And that time it'll be the easiest one that the Bobcats have won thus far on the false start from the Lions. Here come the Bobcats. They try to work quickly with the Lions down on numbers for just a quick second. But they'll settle in their offense and wait for offensive backup to come to the near side. Here's Luke Roach here at the point of the offense. Team's leading goal scorer this year with 29 goals and 7 assists. Roach goes to his left. He's manned up by Tayani. Back behind the net. Here's the near side. This is Wesley. Wesley Phillips gets to the top. Here's Tyron Long. Long manned up by short stick midfielder Dre Alexis, and the ball's on the turf. The battle for it is picked up by the Lions. It's Dre Alexis. Alexis gets it across midfield to complete the clear. Alexis gets it to the near side. Here's Hickam. Hickam tries to go to find Liam Taylor, the youngest of the 4 brothers.
Good D, boys. Good D. Let's go.
Had a rare opportunity on offense on the transition. That's Liam Taylor, the defender from Wading River. The turnover gives the Bobcats a possession. They're going to try to clear here with Walter. Walter gets it to midfield. This is Roach, and Roach will clear it by himself. Under 9 minutes to play here in the first half.
Defend the den.
Here's Roach. They give it off to the near side. And shooting just wide, that time was Aspinus. Tried to go to the bounce shot to the far post, but he puts it just wide. Aspinus, the sophomore from Aurora, Colorado. Here's Sykes, still with the ball on his stick. Sykes working on Tayani. Sykes looking for room. The Lions won't give it to him. They play it to behind the net. That's Aspinus. They get it back to Sykes. Sykes going to his right. Sykes finds some room, and a bounce shot goes high. And the Bobcats will get a reset out of it, following the push by the Lions. Here come the Bobcats. Goal line extended on the near side. That shot saved by Michaels. That was Sykes. Now here's Milano. Milano to the near side. Here's Aspinus.
There you go. Good D. Let's go, D.
Here's Phillips. Phillips near side. They play it down to Jack Hooks. Goal line extended here is Molyneux, they get it back to the top. Near side, here's Wesley Phillips, the team's leading scorer. 23 goals and 29 assists on the campaign. The attackman creates space, but shoots that wide. It's backed up by Frostburg State. They'll have 21 seconds to shoot. Dodging inside, getting towards the crease, and taking a hard check was Jack Hooks, and he'll draw a couple of flags, and it looks like the Bobcats will have their first man-up opportunity of the afternoon. The penalty will be on Nick Tayani for a cross check to the upper body. A full-time penalty will be served. It's unreleasable, so if Bobcats were to score early here in their man-up opportunity, they'll keep the man-up advantage. Here's Serena at the top. They bring it over to the near side, Phillips, and the Bobcats will work it behind the net. Serena, near side. Roach works it behind. Phillips gets it. Work to the top. Here's Serena. Roach downstairs to Phillips, and the shot is saved by Michaels. Ball on the turf. Battling for it are both teams. Still with no possession. The Lions pick it up. And after the Lions had picked it up, a late hit causes the Bobcats to retain possession. Here's Wesley Phillips, near side wing for Roach. And that shot is found to the back of the net. It was a cunning Sean Molyneux.
Assisted by number 44, Wesley Phillips.
It was Wesley Phillips who found him cutting into right through the heart of the defense, and a tough, well-earned goal there from the Bobcats. They come within one now. It's 5-4. New faceoff man in for Malloy at Zach Malagris. The freshman from Riverhead loses the faceoff, and Bobcats retain possession. Incoming was Dort Jr. He got checked and loses the ball, and coming away with it is Michaels inside the crease. So Dort Jr. looking for the Fogo goal, unsuccessful. And here's Liam Taylor. He'll get the clear. Taylor, the long stick, gets it poked loose from behind from Seamus Carney. Now with the ball on the turf, it's picked up from Jay Alexis. Here come the Lions. Here's Hickam near side. Jake Taylor shoots and puts it just wide. Carney went down hard following the caused turnover. Then he stayed on the turf for a little bit. They resumed play. After the wide shot there from Malloy, they stopped play to make sure he's okay. The Lions retain possession with 5:28 to go here in the first half of play. It's Malloy 5, Frostburg State 4. East Coast Conference semifinal. The winner earning the right to go to the East Coast Conference Championship game played on Saturday. Here's Mikey McLean. He goes to his left. Immediately cut off and manned up there by Brody Monroe. Monroe follows him all the way around the cage until McLean's able to get rid of it. Here's D'Amato. D'Amato goes to his left. He looks and fires, and it goes just wide of the cage. It's picked up there by Jake Taylor.
Go Lions!
Bobcats picking up. They're back to pressure, man-to-man defense, just suffocating the ball here for the Lions. Here's McLean, goes to his left. He gets a shot, and he scores! Oh, Mikey McLean had a man all over him. He created an inch or two of space and gets it inside the far post. The Lions reclaim their 2-goal lead at 6-4. Give D'Amato the assist on that play, as McLean worked all the way around the net earlier in that possession. He then had to create space from a tough defender right on him, and he's able to sneak it inside the far post. Now the Lions with a 2-goal lead with 4:46 to go here in the second period. Back at the face-off X, here's Pazienza and Dort Jr. And the face-off is won by Malloy. It's picked up by Rocco Hogan. Ball corralled in by Thomas Kofod here at the top. He'll go back. And Hogan will hand it off here to Brian Green. And you have to wonder, where is Alex Wallstrom in today's game? It's the senior face-off specialist from Easton, Maryland. Have not seen him to this point of the contest. The All-ECC first-team selection at the position. As the ball gets knocked around and picked up here by Ryder Walter, he's going to pick it up and look to clear. He'll do so successfully to get the Bobcats in possession as they're down 6-4 here in the second. An errant pass and coming off and coming back on, rather, is Thomas Kofod, and he'll get the ball. The long-set midfielder finds Taylor. Taylor to Hickam, and it's saved by Covey. That's where Hickam has scored this afternoon, and that time Covey saw it all the way. A great job in transition by Malloy to try to create a possession. Here comes Covey, the Frostburg goalkeeper, gets it across midfield to avoid the violation, but the net is wide open. Covey looking for a man. An errant pass goes to the turf, and it's picked up here on the near side by Hooks. And he'll find Calhoun here to settle it down. Calhoun gets it back to the top of the offense. They get it back. Here's Sykes. Sykes goes to his right. Calhoun reverses it to the far side. Looking for space is Serena. He's mauled by 3 defenders and checked down. Bobcats retain possession. Malloy bringing 3 members of their defense to Serena. Here's Phillips. They get it to the behind the net. Here's Sykes. Sykes goes to his right. Sykes shoots and scores. Henry Sykes has been all over the field this afternoon. He's been a menace on offense, just creating opportunities for himself and his teammates. Finds the back of the net for the second time this afternoon, and Frostburg back within 1. It's 6-5. .237 to go here in the second quarter. Pazienza back at the X against Dort Jr. as they battle for an important possession. Near side ground ball. 2 Bobcats are around it, and it's picked up here by Frostburg State. That's Christian Killeran. He gets it knocked out of his stick, and it's picked up by Malloy. Here's the freshman Liam Taylor. Gets it across midfield. Taylor back to the top of the offense. Here's Dankenbrink. Lions drop it down, near side. Here's Liam Taylor, shoots and scores! All 3 Taylor brothers are on the scoreboard. Noah Taylor finds his younger brother, the freshman Liam Taylor. And it's rare that you see a defender score, but nonetheless, the Taylor brothers connect. And it's 7-5.
17, Noah Taylor.
It's rare that you see a defender score in lacrosse, but to see a long stick defender score, even more impressive. And that time the Taylor brothers connect. It's 7-5. Battle for the face-off just inside of midfield. It's controlled by the Bobcats. That's Dort Jr. Dort Jr. works it behind the net. Here's Hooks. Going to find Wesley Phillips here on the near side. Lions done a good job on Phillips. They've kept him off the score sheet as far as goals in the back of the net. He does have an assist in today's game. They work it to the top, waiting for offensive options. This is Molyneux. 1:36 to play here in the first half. And shooting and making the save there is Christian Michaels.
Let's go defense!
The shot on the doorstep is from Serena, is saved by Michaels. Lions look for an important clear. 1:13 to go here in the second quarter. It's Alexis, gets it across midfield. He finds a long stick player in Jaden McLeod. McLeod downstairs. They look for Noah Taylor, who puts it far of the left post. Now with exactly 1:03 to go, the Lions will have 63 seconds to shoot. And the Lions look like they'll take a timeout. 1:01 to play here in the second quarter. We'll be right back on the ECC Sports Network. Welcome back to Rockville Center here at John A. Darcy Field. East Coast Conference semifinal between the second-seeded Malloy Lions and the third-seeded Bobcats of Frostburg State. Robert Goldberg on hand, bringing you all the action. Thank you very much for joining me this afternoon. We do have a final score in the first semifinal between the top-seeded Mavericks and the fourth-seeded Roberts Wesleyan Redhawks. It was the Mavericks who came away with an 11-8 win. They will host the East Coast Conference final on Saturday afternoon. The winner of this game will take the trip to Dobbs Ferry to face the defending champs. With 1 minute and 1 second left to go on the clock and 61 seconds on the shot clock, the Lions host a 7-5 lead as they look to extend their lead before time expires. Coming outside of the timeout and holding possession with it here on the near side is Brian Diliberto.
Let's go!
Again, shot clock and game clock at the exact same time. So at all likelihood, this will be the final offensive possession of the first half. Here's Diliberto. He's manned up there by Tristan Anderson. 25 seconds to go. Lions get the play call from the sideline. They work the ball around to the back of the net. And shooting and scoring is Tommy Corcoran. So Diliberto held that ball for about 45 seconds. He finds Corcoran right behind the net. Corcoran gets to his strong side to his left and scores the wraparound to put the Lions up by 3 with 14 seconds to go here in the first half. 14 seconds to go here in the first half as the faceoff is tied up here at midfield. Both teams battling forward. Ball still on the turf. Gets picked up by Malloy. 4 seconds to go. Here's Hogan. Hogan, a shot that looks for a deflection from Pazienza is unsuccessful. And a fun-filled, high-action path here in Rockville Center ends with the Lions up 8-5 going into halftime. So Frostburg State takes an early 3-0 lead. Malloy responds and outscores the Bobcats 8-2 for the remainder of the first half, and they carry an 8-5 lead into halftime. It'll be a 10-minute halftime break here in Rockville Center. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with stats and analysis for the second half of action here at Rockville Center. 8-5 Malloy as we go to halftime on the ECC Sports Network. We welcome you back to Rockville Center here at John A. Darcy Field, East Coast Conference Championship semifinal between the second-seeded Lions of Molloy and the third-seeded Bobcats of Frostburg State University. My name is Robert Goldberg. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful Wednesday afternoon for lacrosse. A tight one here in Rockville Center. Molloy holds an 8-5 lead. But this game has been overwhelmingly physical, psychological, mental, everything you can ask for in a semifinal game has happened here in the first half. A lot of big hits have been thrown around. Lead changes back and forth. Momentum shifts. And that can only mean a great second half of lacrosse is in store for us, as first face-off of the first half starts very similar to how the first half ended, with physicality at the X, and this time it's won by Frostburg State. And they'll have the first possession of the first half of the second half. As that ball gets knocked out by Brandon Pazienza and picked up by Thomas Kofod, and the Lions catch a break. Here comes Kofod in transition. They find Hickam. Hickam gets it down to Taylor, and he'll bring it behind the net. That's Jake Taylor wearing number 48. Swing it over to Rocco Hogan, and he sets it back to Brian Green to reset. Well, after being down 3-0 early in the first quarter, the Lions have responded with 8 of the game's next 10 goals. They hold an 8-5 lead going into the third. Here's Brian Green, who has his shot deflected from Kearney. Seamus Kearney, the 6'3 senior from Mount Airy, Maryland. All ECC first-team selection in 2025. 36 seconds to shoot for the Lions. Working it behind the net, here is Molloy. Diliberto shoots, saved by Covey. Foul for the ball, it's picked up by the netminder. Frostburg looks to clear. Covey came out of his cage to get it, but getting it across midfield here at the Bobcats. Almost a turnover opportunity there for Molloy, but it just goes off the stick of a Molloy defender, and the Bobcats will get their first offensive possession of the quarter. Here's Tyron Long with a running start. He gets forced out to his right, and he'll send it back to the top of the offense. And it gets picked up here on the near side. This is Allison. Allison plays catch with Roach. Roach now manned up by Calvo. Roach gets it behind the net, but unable to catch it behind the net was Phillips. And battling for it and throwing it away eventually was Phillips, and that's picked up by Dankenbrink. Big collision at midfield. Dankenbrink took a big shot. Ball still on the turf. They're battling for it. And coming away with possession here is Molloy. Here's Tommy Corcoran. He's going to be shadowed by Tristan Anderson. Here on the near sideline, here's Corcoran. Corcoran gets to his right. Double team comes quickly. Here's Diliberto going to his left. Diliberto shoots, it's saved by Covey. Covey goes for the clear attempt, and it's knocked away and picked back up by the Lions. Here's Hickam. It's a failed clear there from the Bobcats. Running and shooting is Green, and Covey with another stop. Here come the Bobcats, transition opportunity. Long sticks find each other. They go for a giving go right in front of the net, and it goes in. That's Matt Williams who finds the back of the net. An unsettled transition opportunity that saw 3 long sticks in the offensive zone. And similarly how Liam Taylor scored for the Lions at the tail end of the second quarter. A long stick defender here for the Bobcats. Matt Williams scores, the junior from Mount Airy, Maryland. Gets the Bobcats within 2. It's 8-6. It's Williams' third goal of the season. All 3 points have come via finding the back of the net. And after a collision at midfield, they're going to give the ball back to the Bobcats. The Bobcats now with an offensive possession to try to come within one. Here's the face-off man, Dort Jr. He'll get it off to Calhoun, and Calhoun will try to quarterback the offense. They hand it off to the far side. This is Molyneux. Molyneux goes to his right. He's manned by Kofod. Kofod all over Molyneux. They try to find a cutter, and unsuccessful as they try to look for Aspiness. But they're unable to do so, and here come the Lions in the clear. Here's Dre Alexis. Alexis to his right. He gets forced outside. Alexis looking for help. All over him there is Calhoun. Alexis gets it to behind the net. And shooting and scoring is Jake Taylor.
MOL goal scored by number 48, Jake Taylor.
Alexis held on to it for as long as he can as he was just mobbed by Calhoun. Alexis found Taylor behind the net, and Taylor makes the move to his right and just fires a wraparound and beats Covey on the short side. Taylor's second goal of the game. The Lions reestablish its 3-goal lead. It's now 9-6. Back at the face-off, it's Pazienza and Dort Jr. as they battle for it. And it's Pazienza who comes away with it. The junior face-off specialist with it, gets to his right. Pazienza looks for options. They'll throw it to the top for Nick Tayani. Here's Tayani. Manned up by Molyneux. Tiani gets it back to the top. This is Jack Herzlinger, who gets it to Mikey McLean all the way up top at the point, right inside midfield. Here comes Mike D'Amato to his left. They get it behind the net. Here's Taylor. Taylor to McLean. McLean bounce shot goes wide. It's backed up by Malloy. Here's Taylor with 30 to shoot for the Lions. Taylor with a long stick on him. Dishes it back to the top. They swing it to the near side. Here's Herzlinger. Herzlinger to his right. Rips and fires a shot that gets kick saved by Covey. And he picks it up. The shot was going wide, but Covey nonetheless kicks it with his left leg to secure the save. Now the Bobcats look for an important clear. And they'll get it across midfield with a second to spare. Malloy's done a good job of making the Bobcats really work for their clears, but nonetheless they've done so successfully here. Long gets it to the near side, another ball going towards the near side corner. And Malloy will win possession. With the ball now coming out of the cage, this is Michaels. Michaels, near side, Liam Taylor. Taylor gets it knocked out of his hands, and the ball's on the turf. Looking to pick it up as both teams, it's Taylor who repicks the ball back up. Taylor gets it to Hogan, who finds the top, and Dankenbrink now has it. Dankenbrink goes to his left, and ripping a shot wide is Taylor. As he tried to find the far post on the near side. Shoots it wide. That time gets backed up by Frostburg State. And they'll regain possession. Bobcats play it back. Here's Covey outside of the cage. Walter goes for the cross pass, and they find it. This is Sykes. They're working behind the net. And finding it here, Serena. Back to the top, this is Roach. Roach held without a point to this point of the game. The team's leading goal scorer and second on the team in points with 36. Here's Roach. He goes to his left. He's manned by Hogan. Hogan one-on-one on top of Roach. Roach goes to his left. Roach fires and scores! Sometimes good defense just gets beaten there by better offense, and that time Roach took everything that Hogan had to offer him. Roach tallies his first goal of the afternoon, his 30th of the campaign, and it's now 9-7. It'll be Zachary Malagris at the face-off X here for Malloy. He'll go up against Greg Dorr Jr. And Malagris wins it. Here comes the freshman coming down the pipe. Malagris tries to find Hickam on the left wing, but the freshman threw it out of the reach of the stick of Hickam. And it's a turnover for the Lions, and the Bobcats now will look to clear. Here's the near side. Here's Walter. Walter with a high pass that goes inside midfield, and it's picked up by Malloy. So a turnover traded for a turnover and a break for the Lions. Here's Jack Dankenbrink, who retains possession with Sykes all over him. Dankenbrink finds Hickam, who shoots and screams it far. And it's backed up by Frostburg State, and they'll get the ball back. Here's Ryder Walter, the sophomore from Baltimore, looks to clear for the Bobcats. A long stick defender will help guide it across midfield, and they do so successfully. It'll be an offensive setup here for Frostburg State. Here's Molyneux. They work it to Aspinus near side. Aspinus to the top. Coming in with it is Jack Lay. And in shooting and making a save there is Michaels. The rebound is sent wide from Lay. Another shot goes wide here from the Bobcats. They put together 3 shots in the last 15 seconds. Here's Aspinus near side.
Let's go, defense!
Finds Calhoun. Calhoun goes to his left. Green on top of him. Calhoun goes for the bounce shot. He sends it high and wide. Backed up again by Frostburg State with 44 to shoot. Back to the top. This is Jack Lay, the freshman midfielder. Aspinus behind the net. This is Calhoun. Here's Lay. He's getting mauled by 2 defenders. Ball's loose. And it's picked up by the long stick, Sean McCabe, and he shovels it down to Dre Alexis. Alexis coming down the pipe. Alexis with a fake pass. But being stopped, and they'll have to reset. Here is Malloy. Here's the Lions. Brian Green sets up Corcoran here at the top. They're going to look to reset and run a set play. Corcoran dodges to his right, goes back to his strong side, to his left. He's cut off. Diliberto. Back to Corcoran. Corcoran creates space, shoots, and scores! Tommy Corcoran finds the back of the net for the second time this afternoon. Diliberto picks up his 3rd assist of the afternoon. And the Lions maintaining this 3-goal lead. It's 10-7.
Let's go, Lions!
Winning the faceoff here is Frostburg State. That's won by Dort Jr. and is controlled by the long stick defender in Brady Monroe. Covey with it, finds Monroe here on the near side. Monroe tries to go through the center. He finds another long stick defender in Landon Bruce. Bruce, suffocated by two defenders, throws it back into the middle of the field. The ball's on the turf, and it's picked up by Calvo. McCabe now with it. He's suffocated by a couple of defenders. McCabe just looking for a man open. He finds Aiden Dinnigan, who gets it across midfield. Dinnigan finds Luke Hickam. Hickam downstairs, and shot is denied by Covey. Actually said it was a violation on Palulis, that Justin Palulis was inside the crease, but Covey got a piece of it. The Lions a transition opportunity that just barely gets denied. Bobcats able to clear and settling it down here on the near side. This is Serena. Here's Calhoun. He's manned up by Matt Calvo. Calhoun goes to his left. He gets cut off and switched on is Dinnigan. Here's Serena looking for space. Serena throws it to the top, and it's picked off and brought in by Hogan. Here comes Rocco Hogan. Near side, here's Hickam. Hickam downstairs to Taylor, and he scores. Very nicely done there by the Lions. Tic-tac-toe. Hogan to Hickam. Hickam finds Taylor. Taylor in the back of the net. The Lions have opened up their largest lead. It's 11-7. Four points on the afternoon for Luke Hickam. That's his first assist. Taylor now finds the back of the net for the second time this afternoon. He has 3 points. And coming back with it here, here's Dort Jr., who shoots following the face-off win, and it's saved by Michaels. Here come the Lions back in transition. Tayani with the clear. Tayani to the top looking for McLeod, the long stick. They can't connect, and it's picked up on the near side by Carney. Carney throws it into midfield. Picking it up here is Hooks. Hooks gets tripped up by McCabe. And Hooks did not have the ball on his stick, and McCabe looked like he's going to get called for a slash. Hooks had it just inside of midfield, and he eventually did lose it, but McCabe had thought he still had possession. And they will get McCabe for a slash. It'll be a 1-minute releasable penalty. And the Bobcats will go back on the man-up opportunity. With the man-up opportunity, here are the Bobcats. Currently down 4 with 2:26 to play here in the third quarter. Here's Serena at the top. They give it over to Phillips, team's leading goal scorer.
Let's go, D!
They work it around. This is Molyneux wearing number 55. The shot from Phillips goes wide.
Good job, defense!
Sliding over in defense is number 7, Eric Schiller, to shade the leading point player for the Bobcats. Playing it behind the net, this is Phillips. Phillips looking for options. Get it towards the top here, Serena. Good movement here from the Bobcats, and they score. That's Luke Roach. Henry Sykes found him on the right wing. And marked that goal number 31 on the campaign for Roach, and it gets the Bobcats back within 3. It's 11-8. Back at the X, here comes a face-off. 11-8 Malloy here in the third quarter of play. And winning it there is the Lions. They'll have an offensive possession. Here's Jack Dankenbrink looking for options. They'll settle it down to Herzlinger. Here's Mikey McLean. He'll corral it and bring it behind the net. McLean settles it down. 1:07 to play here in the third quarter. McLean working on his defender. Gets suffocated by three defenders. Somehow gets a shot off that does not find the net. And it's picked up here on the near side. It's Kearney. Kearney has it knocked out of his stick by Taylor, and that's a turnover. Noah Taylor knocked it out of the stick of Kearney. The Lions now with 50 seconds to go here in the third will try to hold for the final possession. The Lions, this is D'Amato who's going to get it back to the left of Covey, behind the net. Here's Hickam. Hickam with the long stick over him. Hickam finds Taylor, who scores. Luke Hickam finds Jake Taylor. It's Taylor's third goal of the afternoon. Hickam's second assist. The Lions now open up their lead now to 4. It's 12-8. New faceoff man here for the Bobcats following the goal is Sage Miraflor. And it'll be a violation on Malloy. Now with 16 seconds to play here in the third quarter. The Bobcats will have a final possession. Bobcats working quickly. Here's Allison. Allison manned by Alexis. Allison looking for space. Allison gets it down. Goal line extended. Here's a shot coming, and the shot goes wide by Christian Killeran, who fired that shot just high. And with less than a second to go, it looks like as soon as the whistle will start, the time will expire. And another great period of lacrosse comes to a close. The Lions outscore the Bobcats 4-3 in the third period, and they hold a 12-8 lead as we go to the fourth quarter here in Rockville Center on the ECC Sports Network. Welcome back to John A. Darcy Field here in Rockville Center. It's the East Coast Conference semifinal between the second-seeded Lions of Molloy and the third-seeded Bobcats of Frostburg University. Robert Goldberg on hand, bringing you all the action. Thank you very much for joining me on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. This game is the right to go play the top-seeded Mavericks of Mercy, who defeated the fourth-seeded Roberts Wesleyan Redhawks just a short while ago, 11-8 up in Dobbs Ferry. The winner of this game will travel to Dobbs Ferry to take on the Mavericks Saturday afternoon. The 12-8 score here in Rockville Center. The Lions holding a 4-goal lead as we begin the fourth. Zach Malagress picks up the face-off win. And the first possession of the fourth and final quarter of regulation will begin with the Lions holding possession. Lions fell behind early in the first quarter, down 3-0. They came back to score the next 8 of the game's 10 goals to take an 8-5 lead going into halftime. And now they hold a 12-8 lead as we begin the fourth. Holding the ball here for Molloy, this is Corcoran. He's being shadowed by Molyneux. Here's Brian Green. Anderson on him. Green going to his right. Green still with it. Carries it behind the net. Looking for options. He finds one here in Corcoran. Corcoran on the left wing. Dodges to his left. Gets it knocked out of his stick. Oh, what a play there by Seamus Carney. Carney now picks it up. Here comes a long stick defender. He's going one-on-one with Michaels, and Michaels makes the save. Michaels with a quick pass here to Green. Green in transition. Green to his left. He finds Hickam. Hickam shoots and scores! Oh, what a sequence that was. Michaels makes the save. He finds Green right at midfield. Green finds Hickam, and Hickam with a rising shot into the top right corner puts the Lions up by their largest lead of the afternoon by 5. It's 13-8, and a 4-goal game for the senior Luke Hickam. What a momentum switch that was. Carney with a fantastic defensive play, runs in on Michaels, who makes the save, and it goes Michaels, Green to Hickam to put the Lions up by 5, and Zach Malagress wins the faceoff. Here come the Lions again. The big shot from Hickam is saved by Covey. Covey with his 14th save of the afternoon, and that was a big one. As this game, if it had gone to 6, with just inside 13 minutes to play, just a hard task for any team to come back from. Especially when you're with two defensive teams, two of the best in the nation. You would think with a 5-goal lead, it's going to be incredibly hard to score another 5 on one of the best goalkeepers in the country and one of the best defensive units you have in all of Division II. Here comes Long. Long shoots. It goes wide of the post. 37 to shoot here for the Bobcats. From the Bobcats, they swing it out to the outside. Here's Allison. Gets to the top. This is Roach. Roach finds Long here on the right side. Here comes Long. Long to his right. Takes a body check from Taylor and shoots it wide. Here's Aspinus. He's manned by Dankenbrink. Aspinus gets it knocked out of his stick. And it'll be a turnover for the Lions as they'll call a shot clock violation. Here's Hogan on the far side, gets doubled up. And now just inside the midfield line, carrying it across, is McLean, and he gets stripped. And there will be a flag. Mikey McLean came to the relief of Hogan. And as he was making his move, he got tripped up and a flag was thrown. And it looks like the Lions will have a man-up opportunity on the way. So you're going to get Hayden Tyler on the penalty for holding. It'll be a 30-second man-up opportunity here for Malloy. Here's Green at the top. Corcoran shoots and finds the back of the net on the bounce shot.
Malloy goal scored by number 36, Tommy Corcoran.
Corcoran finds the back of the net on the bounce that just got inside the crossbar. It's his third goal of the afternoon. The assist goes to Brian Green. That's his third. And another man-up opportunity goal for the Lions. They've increased their lead now to 6. Malloy now 2 of 3 on the man-up opportunity this afternoon. And a violation here on the Bobcats. Malloy will retain possession. Again, we've seen Greg Dorr Jr. all afternoon here at the X for the Bobcats, and you just have to wonder if everything is okay with Alex Wallstrom, who's one of the best face-off players in the entire country. We have not seen him in action today. Nonetheless, here come the Bobcats here on offense. Running and shooting a high shot. And drawing a flag there was Frostburg State. That was Dort Jr. who found space. And a couple of flags are down on the turf. So they're going to call the penalty on Liam Taylor for a cross-check to the upper body. It'll be a 2-minute penalty, full-time serve. So the Bobcats will be man up for 2 minutes regardless if they score or not. If they score, they keep the man-up opportunity. Big chance here for the Bobcats to get right back into this game as they're down 6 here with under 12 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. And one of the best defenses in the country here in Malloy. Second in man-down defense. Here come the Bobcats. They work it behind the net. Get it back to the point. A heavy shot is in the back of the net by Serena. And that's a big one for the Bobcats as they find the back of the net here in the fourth.
Frostburg goal scored by number 77, John Serena. Assisted by number 44, Wesley Phillips.
It was Wesley Phillips who found him, who's been playing behind the net the entire game. Serena was able to find space at the point and fire it. Now 14-9 in favor of Malloy. And winning the faceoff here is Frostburg State, and they're going to take another offensive possession. About 1 minute and 5 remaining on the man-up opportunity here for Frostburg. They're going to look for another one. Here's Molyneux. They find Serena. Serena to the far side. Molyneux here on the near side. Roach. Roach again. Serena fires a pass that goes off the stick of Sykes. And Frostburg kept it in play, and it's picked up here by Malloy. This is Dinnigan. They look to get it across midfield. A big hit on the way, but Kofod's able to withstand it. About 20 seconds to go on the man-up opportunity for the Bobcats. Malloy here will just try to play keep away. This is Jake Taylor with possession. He gets it over to the top in Brian Green. And we're back at even strength. The Lions give up 1 goal in a pair of possessions for the Bobcats. They now hold a... Here comes a shot that gets deflected. Green with the ball, he gets stripped. Picked up and a behind the back shot goes just wide, and they might have drawn a penalty on it. Corcoran went for the behind the back shot. It went wide, and on the attempt, they threw a flag. They're going to get Hayden Tyler on a check to the head, and now Malloy will have a 2-minute unreleasable penalty. Here come the Lions. They've had success on the man up all afternoon. Holding a 5-goal lead, 14-9, with 8:30 to go here in the fourth quarter. Green at the top. Feeds the near side, Faison. Faison finds Hickam. Hickam at goal line extended. And it's a 2-minute non-releasable penalty here for the Bobcats. Here's Corcoran. Downstairs to Taylor. Corcoran gets it back to Green. Green fakes one way, goes back to Corcoran. Corcoran tries to reverse fields and can't find Faison, but Faison will be able to pick it up with no pressure. To reset. About 45 seconds gone. Taylor downstairs. And that got the pipe. Taylor tried to go short side. It caught the pipe, went out of play, is backed up by Malloy, and they retain possession here on offense. Here's Corcoran. Corcoran plays catch with Green. Green near side, Faison. Hickam shoots, and it's denied by Covey. th save of the afternoon for Logan Covey. Under a minute to go on the man-up opportunity here for Malloy. Lions play catch around the perimeter. Here's Corcoran. Corcoran back to Green at the point. Near side, Faison drops to the goal line extended for Hickam. Behind the cage is Taylor. Taylor goes for the pass to the cutter. And the ball's on the turf, and scrambling for it here is Faison and Walter. And eventually it is picked up here by Matt Williams. Here come the Bobcats with a transition opportunity, but backing it up in plenty of time here is Malloy. Two defenders over at midfield, and they able to get a piece of Calhoun. A flag was thrown, and they'll stop play with 6:51 to go here in the fourth. Will be a penalty on Noah Taylor for 30 seconds. An offsides call here for Malloy. And the Bobcats offense will take over. Here at the top is Serena. They work it behind the cage. This is Phillips. Phillips looks for Serena at the point. Can't get it there. And stepping in and picking it up is Jack Dankenbrink. Here come the Lions. Taylor has it. Goal line extended. He's harassed by Walter. And Malloy will take a timeout. 14-9 Lions here with 6:06 to go here in the fourth quarter. The ECC semifinal on the ECC Sports Network. We'll be right back. Outside of the timeout, Malloy retains possession. 6:06 to go here in the fourth quarter. This is Corcoran with the ball. He works it to the far side, and referee might have gotten away there, but Diliberto retains control of it. Fresh 60 on the clock here for Malloy. Now it's down to 50. Here's Diliberto carrying it behind the cage. Diliberto, plenty of time, 35 seconds to shoot. Lions with a 5-goal lead here with 5:27 to play in the fourth. Here comes Diliberto, back to the point. Here's Corcoran's shot, and he scores! Tommy Corcoran, that's his fourth of the afternoon. Diliberto collects his third assist. And the Lions re-extend their lead. It's 15-9. Now a 6-goal game with under 5:30 to go. Here come the Bobcats after winning the faceoff. Passing it back to Carney, the long stick defender. Tries to get it inside to the offense. Ball's on the turf. In the stick currently of defender Sean McCabe. Liam Taylor comes away with it, and he gets it back to Michaels behind the cage. Here come the Lions. They get it across midfield for a successful clear. 4:53 to go here in the fourth. The Lions 4 minutes and 40 seconds away from clinching their first berth into the ECC final. Corcoran behind the net. Corcoran going to his left. And he shoots and scores. That could be the icing on the cake there for the Lions as Tommy Corcoran finds the back of the net for his 5th goal this afternoon. It's 16-9 Molloy, and they're 4:27 away for playing for an ECC championship. Face-off battled, but it's picked up here by the Bobcats. Christian Killeran with the ball in his stick. He's checked from behind by McLeod. McLeod picks it up, takes a shove to the back, and a couple of flags have been thrown. It's a delayed penalty here for the Bobcats, and here comes Molloy. Here's Tayani. Tayani goes to his right, and he'll bring it out and reset. Tayani finds Herzlinger. Herzlinger to Taylor. Taylor downstairs to Hickam. Hickam shoots, and a save by Covey. Will be another man-up opportunity here for Molloy. Be a 30-second penalty on Alex Pereno for the push to the back. Molloy with a 7-goal lead with 3:50 to go here in the final quarter. Lions now with a full 80. Can take their time here on this man up. Only 30 seconds, and then it'll become even. Lions will pass it around the perimeter. And we're back at even strength. 45 seconds to shoot for Molloy. Here comes Green. He's manned by Carney. Green to his right. Shoots the bouncer into the back of the net. Brian Green nets his first of the afternoon. Marked at 4 points for the junior. And the Lions now an 8-goal lead at 17-9. Brian Green, an ECC all-first team selection this season, with 31 goals and 20 assists coming into the contest, both ranked second on the team. Adds a goal and 3 assists to his stat line this afternoon. Face-off won again by Molloy. Here's Kofod. Kofod downstairs to Palulis. Palulis shoots and scores! Justin Palulis, his first shot of the game, finds the back of the net, and the Lions opening it up. It's 18-9. And a lot of the story this afternoon is coming at the face-off. Pazienza 12 of 24, Malagris 4 for 5, 16 for 29 in the game are the Lions. And winning these 50-50 balls have been the story. An 18-9 advantage here in Rockville Center with 2:50 to go in the ECC semifinal. The Lions win another face-off following the false start. And they can practically just watch the time tick. The Lions work it to the back of the net. Here's Palulis. Palulis getting shadowed by 3 Bobcats. Covey is out of his net. Everybody is playing a man defense here with no netminder. Lions just playing keep away here. With the ball, this is Luke Barrera. Turnover there by the Lions. And now picked up and coming the other way here are the Bobcats. And now calling a timeout with 1:51 to play. Here is Frostburg State. We'll be right back on the ECC Network. .151 to go here in Rockville Center. Outside of the timeout, Frostburg receives possession. Here come the Bobcats here at the top. This is Sykes. A shot and making the save there is Michaels, but a couple flags were thrown, and the Bobcats will have a man-up opportunity.
Go Lions!
Man-up opportunity here for the Bobcats with 1:33 to play here in the contest. They'll get Dre Alexis on the hold. It'll be a 30-second man-up opportunity here for the Bobcats. Working it on the outside and with the ball on the stick now is Molyneux. Molyneux, Serena gets it to the wing. They work it to behind the cage. Roach back to the top. Serena. Serena to the far side. The shot is saved by Michaels. And that might be the last offensive possession for the Bobcats as Hogan gets the clear. We are all even. And under a minute to play here, the Lions 51 seconds away from playing from an ECC championship. This is Palulis. Out of his net is Covey. Lions just have to play keep away here. 36 seconds to go. Here's Palulis, who throws it into the open net. And that'll be the icing on the cake.
Play goal scored by number 4, Justin Palulis.
Palulis nets the icing on the cake goal. The Lions have a 10-goal lead. And now 30 seconds away from Malloy going to its first ever East Coast Conference Championship. The Lions have outscored the Bobcats 7-1 here in the fourth quarter, as these two teams have been tight the entire game. After holding a 3-goal lead at the half, Molloy now outscoring the Bobcats 11-4 here in the second half of play. Winning the faceoff here is Dort Jr. as the Bobcats look to get another goal into the back of the net. The ball is poked loose, thrown across midfield. Flag is thrown, and it looks like it'll be a delayed penalty. It'll be a slash on Seamus Carney. Molloy will get possession back. And 13 seconds to play here in the East Coast Conference semifinal. Five seconds to play. And the Lions, for the first time in program history, are heading to the East Coast Conference Championship.
The final score of today's game is Molloy 19 and Frostburg 9. Molloy will advance to play Mercy in the East Coast Conference Championship.
The Lions clinch the victory 19-9. They move on to face top-seeded Mercy Saturday afternoon in Dobbs Ferry. For the first time in the last 4 seasons, the final will not include the Bobcats of Frostburg State. This time it'll be Mercy taking on the second-seeded Lions in a rematch of this season's regular season finale. The offense this afternoon led by Luke Hickam. He collected 6 points on 4 goals and 2 assists. Tommy Corcoran netted 5 goals to collect 5 points. 3 assists from Brian Green and Brian DiLiberto, and 3 of the 4 Taylor brothers find the back of the net. Noah Taylor scores 2, Jake with 3, and Liam Taylor scores 1. Everything adds up to a 19-9 victory for Molloy, as they have the privilege now of traveling to Dobbs Ferry and playing for an ECC title on Saturday afternoon. We want to thank everybody for joining us this afternoon here in Rockville Center. A historic day for Molloy, hosting their first ever playoff game. They advance to the ECC final to take on the Mercy Mavericks. For everybody involved here at Molloy, my name is Robert Goldberg saying so long and have a great of your Wednesday afternoon.